Hello, YouTube. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I am your host, Eddie, and thank you for tuning in after my almost 3-week hiatus. It was a great trip. It was great to see the family and friends again, and overall, I had a hell of a time, and I really enjoyed myself. And I thank you guys for putting up with the hiatus and waiting for me to return. I appreciate the following and the subscribing that I have been seeing and going on, and the review and the views and reactions to my videos. So thank you very much, you guys, for all of your support and commitment. I truly do appreciate it, because without you guys, this channel really wouldn't be nothing. But it's all about, fans reaching out to each other and sharing their fondness and appreciation for various films and movies and other franchises. So thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I returned on the 4th, but I had a couple of days to rest and I had to return to work once again. But I am back, and so in tonight's video, I will be doing my recap and review for Season 5, Episode 1 of Falling Skies. Excuse me. In my return video here, as I was saying, I will be doing my review and recap to the TNT show Falling Skies Season 5, Episode 1, which debuted a few Sundays ago, last Sunday, but I was out of town. However, I did catch up on it. I watched it the other night, and I really liked it. So this is my review video for that. And before I go on, I must, of course, advise all of you, if you have not caught up on Falling Skies Season 5 yet, the first episode, or if you haven't finished Season 4, do not watch or listen to this video, as I will be making references to Falling Skies Seasons 4 and 5, at least the Season 5 premieres. So you have been warned, and with that being said, unfortunately, this is the 5th and final season of Falling Skies. I have really enjoyed this show over the years. I actually did not become a fan until after Season 2. I got Season 1 on DVD, I rented it, really liked it, and then a few months later, after it had originally aired, I caught up on Season 2, and I liked it even more. It hooked me in. And then I stayed on track for Seasons 3 through 4, and I gotta say, it's a great show. It's a really great show. And I think one of the reasons why I probably enjoy it so much is because, and of course a lot of people made this comparison, and it's partially true, but not really, is that it's kind of like Walking Dead, but you replace zombies with aliens. I mean, it's no disrespect to the cast and crew of the show of Falling Skies, but it's nowhere near as good as The Walking Dead. Walking Dead has a lot of heart and depth to it, and a lot of really gritty, ugly darkness. And Falling Skies does have its share of ugliness and darkness and human misery, but Walking Dead, I don't know what makes it just so much stronger than Falling Skies. But point being, I still have enjoyed Falling Skies very much. And, as sad as I am to see this show entering its final season, I'm kind of glad that it is finally coming to an end, because for a while there I started to ask myself, before they announced this was the final season of the show, I thought to myself, how long can a war between an advanced race of aliens and straggling human survivors last? One side is going to beat and kill the other, and it's most likely going to be the aliens wiping out the humans, and that very well could happen. But that's just me. But overall, thank you, TNT. Thank you, Steven Spielberg. Thank you, cast and crew of Falling Skies. It's been a great ride, and so far, I like what I see for Season 5, and I'm excited to see how the rest of it plays out. So, picking up where we left off, the end of Season 4, Cochise and... Cochise. Sorry, Cochise is usually the first character I'll bring up, because he is one of my favorite characters on that show, next to Pope and Colonel Weaver. But Cochise is right up there too. What I meant to say was at the end of Season 4, right after the Second Mass and their allies, the Volm and a few other new characters, defeat the Overlord's plans of turning all of the human survivors on Earth into skitters turning them into humanized skitters to rebuild their army and retake the Earth. After foiling that plan, and after the overlords failed, the Ashveni failed to seize control of Alexis, the human-alien hybrid daughter of Tom and Anne, Lexi, as they call her. Lexi gains the trust, somewhat limited trust, of the Second Mass when she and her father offer to take an Ashveni warship up to the moon, where they discover that the source of power that powers the entire war machine for the Ashveni, the Skitters, the mechs, the megamechs, all of the bad guys, basically their central power point is right up there on the moon. So Tom and his daughter fly up there, and of course they're attacked, but fortunately in comes the reinforcements of the Volm. The Volm fleet has returned, led by Cochise's father, and originally the Volm had fled Earth at the end of Season 3 and beginning of Season... Well, actually, the beginning of Season 4, where it reveals that the Ashveni had attacked and killed a number of Volm in their fleet that was millions of light years away from Earth. So the Volm, feeling that the Earth was a lost cause, packed up and left, but only Cochise and a few remaining loyal Volm soldiers remained behind, having faith and believing in their human allies. But fortunately, the rest of them arrive in time. They take out the attacking warships, and Tom and Lexi are getting dangerously close to dying. But fortunately, Lexi, using her superhuman alien hybrid powers, allows the ship to basically launch itself into the machine that is the source of all power, that's protected on the moon. Because the whole series, they were never able to figure out where the Ashveni got all their power from. It was never on Earth in the first place. It was always on the moon. So they take it out, destroy it, and it looks like Lexi blows up in the ship after safely concealing her father in one of her cocoons that she's able to create at the wave of her hand, because that's how powerful she is. She cocoons Tom to protect him from the explosion, and then sacrifices herself by having the ship launch right into the power source, blowing up the machine on the moon, and thus crippling and heavily weakening all the Ashveni forces on Earth. The mechs all power down, the overlords are scattered and left fleeing along with their remaining skitters, and all of the prison camps, the ghetto prison camps that had been established all over the Earth that were holding human hostages, the walls come down and the humans are free, because they overhear on an old radio different voices from countries all over the world talking about how the ghetto camps have been liberated and now everybody is free and the enemy is on the run. Unfortunately, Tom is safely tucked away in his little cocoon, and presumably he's in a coma or a dream, because the very final scene of Season 4 is where he wakes up in his old bedroom back in Boston, and there's a figure standing in the doorway. That's how Season 4 ends. And now to Season 5 premiere. So it immediately picks up right where Season 4 ended. Tom's in his bedroom looking at the figure in the doorway, and in the Season 4 finale, it looks like a very faint image of another alien creature, and we can't quite see the details of it yet. We can't really see what it actually looks like, but it looks like it's got 4 arms and at least 3 eggs and kind of a pointy head. But in the Season 5 premiere, it's taken the form of Tom's dead wife, Rebecca. Now, what's concerning about this is that the big question is this new race of aliens an ally or an enemy? Because in the very beginning of Season 4, the Ashveni overlord, who is negotiating with Tom for the humans to stop resisting them when they were temporarily imprisoned in one of the ghetto camps, briefly explains to Tom that the Volm are ill-equipped and very much unprepared for the great enemy that is coming. And lots of fans began to speculate and theorize, saying, what if this great enemy that the Ashveni overlord was talking about is the same race of creatures that drove the Ashveni to attack and invade other worlds, because that's what happened to them when these other creatures attacked them. It's hard to say, but it looks like for the moment this alien took the form of Rebecca and kind of gave some encouraging words to Tom, because they recreated, and I'm sure because they're an advanced alien race, they somehow got into his mind, into his consciousness, and brought up this old conversation he and his wife had, because before the invasion, Rebecca had been a survivor of breast cancer, but the cancer was coming back. But before anything could happen, the invasion happened and she's killed. Anyway, but this conversation is familiar to Tom, so he knows that this isn't reality, that he's in a dream or a coma. But he definitely remembers the conversation, and I think, what I believe is that the aliens are using this to really throw in a lot of subtext, saying, I know you're scared and I know you're weak, but if you really want to beat this, if you want to beat this cancer that's spreading, and the subtext there is the Ishveni, if you want to beat the Ishveni, you got to get angry, you got to get raw, you got to fight. Hold nothing back. And that's what gets me really excited about the 5th and final season of Falling Skies, is because if that's the path they're going on, where they discuss and talk, where, like, when Tom later returns to Earth after awaking from his coma or dream or whatever, makes his way back to the second mass, which tells me that the cocoon probably saved his life, and as he was drifting in space, the new aliens picked him up, but then launched him out of their ship, and then he landed in the ocean outside of where he originally launched, from the remains of the city where he and the second mass were camped up towards the end of season 4. He's able to regroup with them, and he comes back with encouraging words about how they need to get angry, really angry. They need to become bloodthirsty, and they need to give everything they've got to finally take down the Ishveni, because for the first time in the series, the Ishveni are incredibly vulnerable, and they're actually a worthy opponent this time. They don't outnumber or out-advance the humans. They can fight on equal terms finally, because all of their robots and technology is down, along with most of their weapons, and apparently they can only control skitters within a 5-mile radius, as Cochise later reveals, that he and the other Volm have noticed that when the skitters are left on their own and the Overlord is killed or nowhere to be seen, the skitters basically become feral, these feral wild animals. And unless an overlord is around, that's when you can tell there is one, because the skitters start to act organized and coordinated. So, finally, the humans have the aliens on the run for once, and now they can take the fight to them. But it is a little concerning of how fast Tom was able to find the second mass, and also at the end of that episode, when he swats what he thinks is a bug, and it looks like a tiny metallic tracking device. So maybe this new race of aliens is secretly tracking him so they can later find and destroy the second mass, or find them later and ally themselves with them and the Volm to finally take on the Ishveni once and for all. And then they hear reports, and then the Cochise and the other Volm reports that from all over the world that they've received from their troops, other Volm troops, is that humans have joined up with the Volm and have formed militias and are fighting back now that everybody's been liberated from the prison camps. And so now Tom and the second mass are going to attempt to make contact with them and ultimately probably form a massive army so they can take down the Ishveni once and for all. Because even though they've lost all of their power and most of their weapons and mechs, there's still a lot of skitters and Ishveni overlords out there, and they need to be taken down. Once they kill all of the Ishveni and the skitters, mostly the Ishveni, the Earth belongs to the humans once again, and of course the Volm will most likely stay or go, because they actually might stay, but they might coexist and share the planet with the humans. That is, if that's how the show ends. It could end on this big happy note where everybody's like, we did it, we won, we destroyed all the bad aliens, yay, and now we're gonna share this planet with the good aliens. I doubt that. As much as I would like to see that, I kind of would, but in reality, we are most likely going to get one final horrible, violent bloodbath. Losses on both sides. And I think most of our main characters, if not all of them, most of them are going to bite it, including Tom or one of or two of his boys, or Anne, or Weaver, or hell, even Pope. Anybody, anybody who's been alive and around since seasons 1 and 2 is most likely going to die, if not every single character. Or maybe one person will be left standing. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I think we're in for one big, final, ultimate showdown between the Second Mass, the Volm, and the rest of their allies against the Ashveni, the Skitters, and maybe some remaining mechs. And we will finally see them come head to head, and that battle will seal the fate of Earth forever. But overall, it's been a hell of a series and a lot of fun to enjoy, to watch and enjoy. And I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the series has to offer. I know episode 2 aired just the other night, so as soon as I watch that, I will be doing a recap and review to that episode as well. But overall, for the season 5 premiere, I like it. I like how it sets the tone and the mood for what this season is going to be like. This season is basically no restraints, holding nothing back. They're getting angry, they're mad, they're scared, and they're finally to kick some ass. Of course, they've always been kicking alien ass on this show, but now it's like, no more dicking around. We're going to finish this once and for all. And that's the attitude and the ideas that Tom gives the Second Mass, and I love it. I love how enthusiastic and appropriately they respond to his enthusiasm and his words, because it's like they are ready to give everything they've got to finally end this war. A war that has raged on this planet probably for 5 years, since that's how long the show has been on for. And back in season 3, back in season 3, they mentioned how they're celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the war, and this has got to be at least 1 year, if not 2 years later than season 3. So it's been going on a long, long time, and I am really excited to see how it's going to end. Am I sad that it's ending? Yes, but at the same time, a little relieved, because I don't know how the show could have survived much longer if you just continue to stretch and carry out this one continuous storyline of the seemingly never-ending war. But they're not doing that. They are finishing it, and I'm sure it's going to go off with a bang. Well, guys, once again, thank you so much for watching and subscribing to this channel. Please like this video and share and comment, and please leave your thoughts and opinions down below. For those of you who watch Falling Skies, what was your favorite moment from the series? Or what was your favorite season, favorite character? What have you enjoyed about this show? What aspects of it do you enjoy watching, and what really pulls you into it? What makes it so appealing? For me personally, I think it's seeing people of all walks of life, humans, aliens, and other humans working together to take down an enemy, or at least, achieve one common goal. And as far as favorite scenes go, I'd have to say my favorite scene from probably my favorite episode was the season 2 finale, when they go to destroy that war machine. The Second Mass goes to destroy the war machine that they learned about from their newest allies, the rebel Skitters. And then right as they're about to be tortured to death by Karen and her Ashveni overlord, the rebel Skitters storm the facility and save their human allies. And Red Eye, the red-eyed Skitter who founded the Skitter Rebellion, gets in a hand-to-hand combat death match with the Overlord, and unfortunately that Overlord kills him, but Tom returns the favor and kills the Overlord, and unfortunately he and Ben watches a dying Red Eye give his final words of saying, keep the fight going. And he actually earns the respect of some of the other Second Mass members. And of course, I also love that opening episode of season 3. That was a great episode too. That opening battle with the Rebel Skitters, the Second Mass, and the Mega Mechs. That was fun. So yeah, it's been a great show, guys, and I hope you like it as much as I do. And thank you again so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Let's try to be respectful of one another's opinions and beliefs. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.